Now, just like in Illustrator, when we switch back to the black arrow, the selection tool, in Photoshop we'll switch back to the move tool. And both of those tools, by the way, the shortcut's the letter V. So if I click on anything else and then hit the letter V, I'll jump back to it. You know, the only exception, of course, is the type tool. All right, spacebar to move this thing back. And now we want to selectively darken areas. The bottom of this is still way, way, way too light. So we do that with the dodge and burn layer. There's dodge and burn tools that come with Photoshop, but we don't want to use these because they affect the pixels. They literally change those pixels and you can't change them back. So what we're going to do is add a brand new layer. Now you're used to this in Illustrator. Same icon adds a new layer above whatever layer was active, and we were on the uppermost layer. And then we're going to fill this with 50% gray. Now, remember Option Delete and Command Delete? It's the same key, but it's Shift Delete. But if you look under Edit, Fill, it says Shift F5, which will work, but come on. How about Shift Delete? And once again, that delete key is right next to the plus sign and the equal sign. It's not the one under the function key in the center of the keyboard. Now, I don't know where yours is. It's probably on foreground color or background color. But we want to come down to 50% gray and click OK, which doesn't seem like it's going to help us a lot. This is where blending modes come in, right here where it says normal. And I know this is laying a lot on you right at the beginning, but you are going to learn to love blending modes as well as all the other stuff that I'm showing you. And now, what the heck just happened? It's gone, but it's not gone. Overlay and soft light both ignore 50% gray. Nothing affects it. But anything darker than 50% gray darkens the image, and anything lighter than 50% gray lightens the image. So if we get the paintbrush, the letter B, and I don't know what brush you have, so let's just click right here and pick, it doesn't matter, one of these first two brushes. And I don't have the default set up. I probably should have done that, so I'm looking at the same thing you are. Let's go here, and I'll reset the brushes. Yep. Nope. Don't save. So now I'm looking at what you're looking at. And yeah, you can add all kinds of brushes. It's really cool. So we'll just pick this first one, huh? And this is the size. We can adjust the size. And if you pull your cursor out here, you get a little, see that little circle? I'll pull this up so you can really see what's going on. There's the circle outside of my red circle. That's how big that brush is. And then how hard it is, that's a solid edge, and how soft it is. Now we want the softest brush possible, and we want it pretty good size, but I don't know what size it is. I want to come out here and see and say, man, that seems a little big. So this is a really weird shortcut. Control and Option, not Command and Option, Control and Option. You move it sideways. To the left makes it smaller. To the right makes it bigger. Going up, you have the hardness is taken to 0. Moving down, the hardness goes to 100%. We want a soft brush. We want that hardness at 0. We want to take this down, oh, I don't know, right about there, somewhere around 2,000 pixels. It's not really essential. We want to make sure we're painting with black. We want our default colors, right? We want that black in the foreground. If you've got these confused, you can swap them out or hit the letter X to exchange colors. And then, really important, see opacity right here? Let's lower opacity down to somewhere, around 20 to 30%. flow at 100. Now, don't click, 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 because that's going to do something different than clicking and dragging. And I'm just going to paint in a little bit at the bottom here. I haven't let go of the mouse. And you notice that I can go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and nothing happens. Nothing more happens. You can see that I've darkened up this bottom area somewhat. Now, if we come in again, this doesn't need as much darkening as this, so I can pull that cursor across. And on yours, I'm not going to come over here, but I do want to hit this a little more. So I let go, click again, and then there's other places, and we're just going to, every image is different. You don't want it to be uniform. You want some light, and you want some darker areas. You always want that edge darker. And somewhere in there. So you get this weird little cloud effect. It's not necessary yours looks like mine, but you just want this image. See how bright that is? Now we're getting to a more dark little background. This is more towards blue than I wanted. Remember, I told you we can always change this. Pull in a little. And, you know, you play with this. And same thing with the levels and the curves. We can keep playing with this to adjust it. But now that's a dodge and burn layer. Might as well go ahead and of course we got one cap, one lowercase. I'll fix that off screen. But what we're doing is we're getting a background set for our text to go on top of. But if we hit Command 1, we get a lot of harsh edges in here. And I don't think that's really helping us. I'm hit Command 0 to get back down to full screen. Let's come back. Let's address that. Oddly enough, on the very lowest layer.